What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am sitting in the Starbucks drive-thru, but I'm on my way to work, and that's kind of how I had to do this intro because I was running a little bit late in order for me to like grab Starbucks and then get to work. So we're doing this intro in my car, but this video I am so excited to start. I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time, but I've been waiting for these books to come available on Libby. So I am finally, they're all available on Libby, so I'll be able to listen to the audiobook while I drive to work. Plus I have the physical copies along too. But I'm gonna be reading Daijah's favorite books here of, I'm pretty sure these are like 2020 books that were her favorites that she read this year. But if you don't know Daijah, over at Daijah's Book World, she is literally like the sweetest girl ever. I first found out about Daijah because she had asked to be in one of my old Read with Friends live shows like back in the spring, and we've just become friends like ever since then. I love Daijah's channel because she actually reads a whole bunch of different genres. So I actually like being able to find people that read a bunch of different things, because then that makes me think that like maybe I could try a couple different genres, you know, like she has started getting into horror, and so then I get to hear like what she thinks about horror. She reads thrillers, she reads some romances, she also reads like fantasy. So she reads just so many different kinds of books, and I really like that about her channel. She also does these weekly reading sprints on Sundays, which are really fun because she just like hops on, she does a live video on her YouTube, and then you can like read with her, which I think is great. I'm going to link Daijah's channel down below so that way you guys can go subscribe if you haven't already, because I think that a lot of you will actually really like her content. So let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading that are her favorites. The first one that I'm starting out with is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I have been seeing this like around a lot recently, and a lot of my friends in my book club just read it or are currently reading it, and they're all really loving it. I think this is like about these housewives in the 90s that have a book club. And I'm actually not exactly sure like what else it's about. All I know is that everyone really likes it, and I really like the cover a lot. Like I think it's beautiful. And yeah, Daijah loves this book so much, and so I'm really hoping that I'm going to like this book as well. I actually have not read My Best Friend's Exorcism. I didn't even realize that it was written by the same author. Then the other two books that I'm reading, I'm going to be reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is like so funny because it's like two of these are like guide books, like the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and then the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know how that happened, but Daijah also really loves this one. And even though this is young adult, I have heard that it's actually a really good young adult story. I also don't really know much about this. I didn't read the synopsis recently, and I don't have the book along with me. But, I mean, obviously you'll hear more about that when I actually read that one. And then, last but not least, we have With the Fire on High. And this book, actually, a lot of people have been telling me to read. And so when Daijah said it was one of her favorites, I knew right away that I wanted to read it. It's definitely young adult, but I think that I might actually enjoy it because it's all about cooking. I think it's about like this girl who cooks or like enjoys cooking for a living or something like that. I don't know. A lot of people say it has a lot of food talk in it, and if you guys didn't know, I have a culinary arts degree and I love cooking, and so I'm very excited to read that one because I really haven't read that many books that have characters that enjoy cooking. And like, for instance, Disney's Ratatouille is like one of my favorite movies just because it has so much cooking in it. I love it so much. I love watching like Food Network and all that kind of stuff. So I think that I'm really gonna like that one, even though it is young adult, and I don't usually tend to like young adult books. But yeah, so those are the three books that I'm reading that are Daijah's favorites, and I really hope that I'm gonna like them because I actually did this video reading my friend Gwen's favorites, and I think I only liked like one book out of the three that were her favorites, so I'm really hoping that I can at least like two of these. It'd be really cool if I loved all three, because then I would know that Daijah and I have very similar tastes. But definitely drop a comment down below if you guys think that you know which books I'm gonna like and which books I won't like. It'll be really interesting to see if you guys were right or wrong, or if you know my reading tastes more than I do. I don't know. But yeah, drop them down below. Let me know which ones you think are gonna be my favorites or I won't like and why. I love reading those comments and seeing, because a lot of you guys did that for my Heartbones reading vlog. You guys told me way in advance, you were like, you're not gonna like this book. And like, I did not like that book. But anyway, I have to head into work now. And so I am gonna be listening to the Southern Book Club's guide over the next like few days while I'm driving to work and all that kind of stuff. Which, update you guys, we actually put in an offer on that house that I talked about in, I think it was my Heartbones vlog, and we actually, like, our offer got accepted. So that's really great. We're actually gonna be moving back to the town where I work, so I won't have to drive an hour like to work and an hour back. So that's fantastic, because I'll have more time to spend at home. So I'm really, really excited about that. I think that we'll probably be moving around like November or December. And so yeah, moving vlogs in the future. But yeah, I need to go on into work, and then I will update you guys once I kind of know more about the Southern Book Club's guide. Hello everybody. So today is actually a couple days later since I've last filled you guys in. This is Sunday, and I actually just got finished with going to a bridal shower for one of my friends, and also like she's my boss. I love working for her. She's like one of my favorite bosses ever. And we were at this like lavender farm. It actually isn't too far away from where I live. It's only about 30 minutes away, and I didn't even realize that like there was something like this here, because it's actually super, super nice. And we even had like some wine, and it was like lavender infused wine. So good. I had the red one. I loved it. So I really want to bring Alvin here, or maybe even like maybe meet up with some of my book club friends here, because this would be just a beautiful place to have like a meetup. But anyway, so I have some cupcakes, and she had a little like cheese box that she made, because I actually went to like culinary school with her as well. So we've been friends for a while, but I had been working all weekend. Friday, I worked a really long shift. I worked 11 to 11:30. And then yesterday, I also worked from like 2 to 11:30. So I don't get home until after midnight. But then I also didn't really get a lot of reading or anything done, because we had put our house for sale on Thursday. Because you guys know that I was talking about how we bought a house like closer to where we live. And so we put our house for sale on Thursday. The sign went up and we sold it. We got an offer. We actually got a couple offers yesterday already. So it only took like one day for this to happen. And so we like signed the papers today. So hopefully everything's gonna go great with that. But we had so many showings. We literally had like 3 or 4 showings every single day. So even though I wasn't at work during certain hours, Alvin and I were kind of like just hanging out in my car because we couldn't be like in our house. So I did not get a whole bunch of reading, but I mean, I guess I say I didn't get a lot, but I have been listening to the audiobook on my drive to work. And so for the Southern Book Club's guide, I am 36% on Libby. So I actually have the book with me, but I don't know how far into it I am. Like, I haven't physically read it at all, but I want to do that later today. And so yeah, I'm 36% in it. I'm not like not liking it, but I'm also not in love with it yet. But it might be because I've been totally listening to it on audiobook and I haven't physically read it with my eyes. I'm more of a physical reading person, but I also like to do both at the same time. And so I really want to kind of do that today if I possibly can. But this book is about, it's actually like just, it's way different than I even expected it to be. This is about this lady, Patricia, and this is back in the 90s, I think. Her husband works a lot as a doctor. Her kids are naughty, I guess, and she just like has all this stuff to do, and she tries to take care of her mother-in-law, who's like really mean. Well, anyway, she has this book club with her friends, which is kind of cool because like I have a book club with my friends, obviously. But this next door neighbor moves in and is this like mysterious guy that she's like trying to get to know, because like I guess she kind of likes him a little bit just because her husband's not around. But she, right now where I'm reading from, like she invites him to the book club that she has like with her girlfriends or whatever. But I guess he's gonna turn it like, I guess he's like a vampire. Like, I don't know. I mean, they don't know it that he's a vampire, but I think in the synopsis it said that he is a vampire, which is really weird. Like, it's so not realistic in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm liking this book or not. This is the first book that I read by Grady Hendrix, so we'll have to see. But I might listen to it a little bit on my drive home. And then I do have a call I have to do with like my family. We're gonna do a little Zoom call, and then maybe I can read more of the book later, hopefully. But so many people are loving this book, so I really do want to kind of get into it and really give it a chance, you know? Plus, you know, I don't want Daijah to be like, you don't like any of my books, but hopefully I like the other ones, even if I don't like this one. We'll see. Good morning, everybody. I am extremely tired because I closed last night and then had to open this morning. So yeah, I didn't get home until like 12:30, and then it's just hard to like fall asleep right away after being like pumped up from work. And it is now almost 9 o'clock, but I had to wake up at like 7:30 because then I had to leave my house at 8 in order to get here by 9. It'll be really nice like once we're actually officially moved and I won't have to drive an hour anymore, so that'll be great. I wanted to update you guys on, I finished the Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires, and I'm rating it 4 stars. It actually got a lot more interesting and more fast-paced in my opinion once I was past the like, I'd say the 1/3 to 1/2 mark. So the first half I had, or like I guess the first like third or half I had only listened to on audiobook, and I felt like it definitely was boring in parts. But then when I was off the other day, I actually like was listening to the audiobook and I pulled out the physical copy, and there were definitely like a lot of thrilling parts during that. But I think it was more so like once we kind of knew what the next door neighbor guy, like who he was, what he was doing, the creepy part of all of that. So I did really like that last, definitely like half of the book. I thought it was very intriguing. So that's why I'm giving it 4 stars. I can definitely see why a lot of people would like it. Like if you like more slower paced books, like the last 2 Riley Sager books, like definitely Home Before Dark, Lock Every Door. If you like that, then I definitely think you would really like that book. But yeah, for me, it was just a little too slow in some parts. But it was very, I don't know, I think I really liked the like housewife type of drama, especially when it was like between their husbands, because it was from the 90s. So you kind of got to see the difference between like how people would react now to like how they reacted in the 90s, or like how husbands treated their wives back then. I mean, it's not like, you know, the 1940s, it wasn't as bad as that, but it still was like that. So yeah, that was really interesting. Then I started With the Fire on High. And so that's what I have been listening to like the last 2 days of work, because I listened to it on my way to and from work the other day, and then yesterday, and then also today. And I am halfway through this book, and I am enjoying this book. I don't think I'm gonna rate it super high though, just because it is definitely a young adult book. So you know, there's like things that the main character is doing in here and I'm just kind of like rolling my eyes at, because I'm like, yep, you can tell that you're still in high school, you know, that type of thing. But I love the cooking in here. So it is really cool because Amani, who is the main character, she is a like teen mom. And so she is still in, I think it's her last year of high school right now, and she's taking a culinary class because she really enjoys cooking. And her roots she is part Black and part Puerto Rican, so she like has a lot of like Puerto Rican culinary roots, and she also has like an actual gift for it, but it's very interesting to me. I really like it because I know like what they're talking about, all the things that she's learning in this like culinary class in school. Her chef, even though she's making like really good food, the chef in that class is like, nope, throw your dish away. And she's like, why? Like, my food is amazing. And he's like, I gave you a recipe to follow and you didn't follow it. And like, that's literally how culinary school is, because I went to culinary school. And so like, I love that I know, like, I feel like I am appreciating that part more so than what other people would appreciate, because I know what they're talking about. Like, she had to take a surf safe class, and that's actually the truth. Like, I had to take that my first semester, and when you like work in restaurants, you usually have to take it. So you have to like learn about all of the like foodborne illnesses, and you have to memorize all of these like temperatures and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I just thought that was like so interesting, and I'm like sitting there and I'm like, yep, that's exactly how a chef is. Like, that's how it is. Because like in culinary school, you know, sometimes you would be given a recipe, but then sometimes we would have these special classes where the chef would make something in front of us, and we had to pay attention and take detailed notes so we could make something exactly the way he did in the exact like measurements and everything. But like, you weren't given a recipe, you had to watch and like pay attention. And I always like loved doing things like that. So yeah, I just really like that part. But other than the cooking part, the rest of the book is just a little, I guess not immature. I don't want to say immature as in like it's a bad thing, but the rest of the book is just for a more younger audience. So it is teaching people like how hard it is to be a teen mom, and how you do have to like grow up before other people would. And so I definitely think that this book would be good for a young adult. I definitely would highly recommend it, especially if like I have kids in the future or foster kids in the future. Like, I do like this book for a younger audience, but for me, I don't see myself like really loving it that much, just because yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, that was like really immature, why did you do that? Like, that's what I'm just saying in my head. I am going into work now. I actually have a Halloween party tonight on Zoom in my book club. So that's why I like closed last night and then opened today, because I didn't want to ask off for the whole weekend. So I wanted a morning shift today so I could do my like Zoom Halloween party tonight, and then I'm closing tomorrow. So that way I have a little bit of time to like sleep in and, you know, do all that kind of stuff or whatever. So yeah, that's what I am doing currently. Oh, and I forgot to say, like, back here, I bought a bike the other day. I literally bought, like, it's practically brand new. The lady only rode it like twice. It's a 7-speed like Schwinn. I got it for $75 off of Facebook Marketplace. It's just chilling in my car because like we haven't moved yet and I don't really have anywhere to put it. I mean, I guess I could put it in the house, but anyway, it's just chilling in my car. But I am so excited and it looks so good. I cannot wait to like start riding it like around town once we move. It's gonna be great because I can ride to like the library and the farmer's market and all that kind of stuff, so that's really cool.
Good morning, everybody. It is pouring outside and I have to go get a COVID test done at my job because I work at a college and they are, I really hope you guys can hear me, they are really good with doing like a bunch of different like COVID checks. They like test all the wastewater to make sure that, you know, they can find any asymptomatic people. Well, anyway, since I went back to work in August, we all had to get tested when we first went back to work. And then since then, we all get like random checks. So I actually had gotten like chosen a couple of weeks ago, and then I also got chosen today. The only bad thing is I don't work today, so I'm literally driving an hour to get a 5-minute COVID test and then driving back home. So let's go ahead and, you know, we just love driving in the rain. This is fun. This is so fun. We're having fun today.
suspects are suspicious, officers are instructed to document evidence early on, as though they were investigating a murder. Of course, only a very small percentage of missing persons cases turn into homicide cases.
And what happens if nothing significant turns up after the initial home search?
They'll expand the search to the immediate area. They'll question friends, neighbors.
Okay, done already. Literally, that takes like 5 minutes. It is super easy. The COVID test that like is here at my college, they don't have like the big, huge, long stick or anything. Thank goodness, because I would probably just quit my job then. They have a like smaller one, and you have to like put it in one nostril, twist it until they tell you like to stop, which is about 15 seconds, then put it into the other one. Oh no, my battery's dying. Why did I not put a new battery in this before I like did this? Anyway, so that went well. Yeah, we love driving an hour for almost no reason. I mean, everybody, like, please, I'm not taking the COVID thing lightly. Like, it's just my 3rd time doing it, so it's like, I can't wait to live here, because this is where we're gonna live very soon. So I won't have to drive except like 5 minutes, which is gonna be fantastic.
Hello. It has been a while since I have actually filmed this video, and yeah, what is today? Like, today is November like 16th. I have no clue where this month has gone. I don't think I have read anything this month yet, which is absolutely nuts because my life is nuts. So yeah, let me fill you guys in really quickly on like life updates. Obviously you can see we've been packing because we're moving December 4th, which is great. So we're closing on our new house December 4th, and we're closing on this house December 10th. So all really cool things happening. But then also November 2nd, I had gotten my first foster placement. It was a little 4-year-old boy that we found out he had autism a couple days after we like had already accepted him into our house. And that was a very, very challenging time for me. I did not get to do anything, let alone read, eat, shower, literally nothing for a whole entire week. He was only with us for a week because then he was placed with a family that's I get like better suited for his needs, and you know, has a bit more education, I guess, if you want to say, because like I really don't know much about autism. I am not like, I don't specialize in that. It was all very new to me. And the family that he went with, they actually work with special needs children, and so I think that that's going to be a much better family for him. But yeah, it was one of the most challenging times in my life. And I mean, I'm thankful for, you know, having the opportunity to have him in my house and, you know, learning about that. That was definitely something that I was, yeah, it was a lot. Let's just say that. So anyway, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I did not get, like, the last clip that you saw, I was listening to chapter 1 in my drive. That was back before even Halloween. Like, all of those clips were in October. So it's been probably like a long time. But anyway, I looked on my Libby app because I couldn't remember how much of this I actually like read / listened to. It does say that I listened to 24%. I haven't physically read the book yet, so I'm actually gonna do that now. I have a little bit of time. It's 10:12 and I do have to leave for work at 3:30. So we're gonna try and read a bunch of this book. I am off tomorrow, so like this is my goal, is to finish this book by tomorrow and get this video up for you guys, because yeah, it needs to go up. I had meant to get this video up like before Daijah even did her crime-a-thon readathon, and I had to like cut that out of one of the scenes that I was like talking, because it already happened. Like, I am one of the worst friends possible. I literally could not even get this video up in order to tell you guys about her crime-a-thon readathon. So I'm really sorry that if you guys didn't know that she did that, but you know, you probably might know now she does a true crime readathon, and it just happened. It is over now, I think. I'm pretty sure it's over now. But let's go ahead and read this book. I'm probably gonna start from the beginning because I don't remember anything. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, I am now headed to work. I am sitting at a light because I just missed it, but I am almost done listening to the whole book of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I listened to a bunch of it this afternoon, and I think I only have 3 hours or even less of the audiobook, and I listened to it on like 2 times the speed during my drive. I am not in love with it, but it's also not a bad book. I know a lot of people have loved it, and it actually reminds me a lot of Pretty Little Liars. Okay, everybody. So I finished, let me make sure this is the right side up. I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm going to rate this 4 stars. Yay! I am actually very surprised that I enjoyed this as much as I did, because this is a YA thriller, and you guys probably know that I don't like YA books that often, but this was actually told really well. Like, I'm giving it 4 stars mostly because of like the last 1/4 to 1/3 of the book was so fast paced, and my heart was literally pumping while I was reading it. So this is about Pip, who is trying to solve this murder as like her final project. She's a senior in high school, and so there was this girl named Andy 5 years ago that was murdered by her boyfriend. That's like what everyone just thought, that's what the police thought, but Pip decides that for her project she wants to see if she can actually solve that case, because she doesn't actually believe that like Sal, which is Andy's boyfriend, she doesn't believe that he actually murdered Andy. So Pip starts like doing all these investigations. I was listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook is fantastic because like when she's doing different like interview stuff, like even in the book it kind of has like interview type of like transcript stuff, which is really cool. And there's like a different voice. It's kind of like a I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like kind of like a covered up voice or whatever. Yeah, there's different types of, what do you call that? Like almost like mixed media, I guess, in here. So that was really cool. This reminded me of Pretty Little Liars so much. Like there was even a point in time where you're like wondering if like everything is real, and like, I don't know, like it was just exactly kind of like, not exactly like, it was very close to Pretty Little Liars, the way it was told and the way that the twists were happening. The reason that I couldn't give it 5 stars is I felt like it went too back and forth at times, so it was just constantly reiterating like, oh wait, is this person guilty or is this person guilty? No, they're innocent. No, they're guilty. No, they're innocent. No, so that was like a little like irritating, but that last bit of the book, like I didn't know who did it. She spun it really well. So yeah, it's gonna get a whole 4 stars from me. Okay, so let's talk about all 3 of the books that I read. Speaking of, you guys need to go over to Daijah's channel and wish her a happy birthday, or go to her Instagram because her birthday is literally in a couple days. So go all wish her. She's gonna be 18 years old, which is so crazy. She's gonna be an adult. Like, oh my gosh. I know that that's like super awesome, but also can be scary at the same time. But let's go ahead and go through the 3 books that I read for this vlog. I first started with the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I ended up giving that 4 stars, which definitely blew my mind because I did not think I was gonna like that one very much because of it being like not exactly realistic. Then I read With the Fire on High, which I'm giving 3 stars, which I actually thought that's what I was going to rate that book because of it being young adult. Usually I don't give them more than like a 3-star most of the time. And then with The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, this one is 4 stars as well. So I'm actually very surprised. I had 2 4 stars and a 3-star from this video, which is way better than I thought. So Daijah, I guess that we kind of have similar reading tastes, or else you just picked really good books for me to read, like out of your like, you know, best ones that you loved. But if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely drop a comment down below and let me know who I should do next. You know, which booktubers you want me to read their books for. I have some that I'm planning on doing, but if there's anyone that you want me to actually read their favorite books, like let me know, drop a comment, because I do really like making these. These are actually super fun to make. But that's it. I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bye.